No doubt about that, man. Ricochet, boy, he got a whole lot of conditions. He dropping some heavy numbers. You guys all got me 40 over 9 noise. I got a 40 over 9 noise level almost, but you guys got me up past the 40 dB mark, so you know how it is. But boy, the Watergate gonna sound good. Take care, Ricochet. You smoking. Hey, D-Rail, hey, 225. Y'all doing your thing. A little squirt in the Great Lakes getting down. Hey, D-Rail, country boy, pulling back.
I think you said 404. Hey, 404. I'm just trying to get my name in the mix, but my receive is fucking jammed up. I think you said was it around Alabama? I don't know if that wasn't Julie Grinder. He but I could have sworn I was 2021 coming up, brother. Hopefully you have a blessed one, ain't no doubt. Oh, Phantom up here in the lakes with the green light.
Turn the green light on.
Bite his ass. Squirrel. Get the squirrel. Go, get the squirrel. In that fucking mess, but it is what it is. Old Phantom 309, holding the fort down up here in the lakes with a wave. I'll see you.
One more time.
Got 410 on that. Right there, D-Rail, yeah. The volume. Sunday since I talked to you last, man, I better get your mind made up and the west side, the best side.
Only 43. 43.
And this mall around Flint, Michigan got down.
43, middle finger, got up. KP68, can you say 530 in the Q stand, we waved it.
Standing by.
Go to the high side. Go to the high side. How about it? 3, 1.
Yeah, you fucking queer.
Come on, Will. I'm slowing down. 496.5, what are you smoking, man? Hey, 2021. It's better than the last one. 651, 60 truck in New York is getting down.
I'm back on the vertical side. How about it?
You want to suck on this fat head? Cobra 29 in New York.
I think I'll stay on the flat side. They're having a war here on the locals here. Doggone. I love my hobby when the skip's rolling. Jake, Lower Peninsula operators, standing by.
383 Super Truck, New York.
No, sir. That's who it was, man. That monkey brain in the bottom side of the Great Lakes. With a high side. Monkey brain in Detroit.
want you guys to think about this for a second.
I ain't talked to Bass in a long time, man.
And you really, and this really is aimed toward the people that really never been exposed to the CB radio or anything like that, you know, anytime through their life. You know, they might have heard of it, saw it on TV or movies or whatever, but never really had one or never really knew anybody that had one and all that stuff. I'm going to tell you something. If you think about it, now Skip is running, so it's like it's not necessarily just people here locally. But this is Skip that's happening from all the way from, I'm hearing down here in the south in northwest Florida. I'm hearing them guys up there in the northeast. You know, Detroit, New York, Jersey, Connecticut, Wisconsin, you know, shit like that up there. That's what I'm hearing right now. And you know, I'm not pushing a whole lot of wattage when it comes down to straight out of the radio. So I might not get over some of them guys that are pushing a hell of a lot more wattage than I am, and they're just sitting there just talking, whatever. But on sideband, I have a little bit better of a chance. Even if you are running a lot of wattage, my modulation tends to, you know, get out there. Even though I might not be loud, but you still hear me. I have a little bit more range on sideband than I do on AM, and that's another thing too. If you guys are new to radio, you know there is a difference between the sideband and radio. Right now I'm on AM, and I've got modes. I've got AM, FM, upper and lower sideband. Now FM, that's frequency modulation. AM is amplitude modulation. And you got upper and lower sideband. Now, AM is a mixture of a dead key or like a carrier wave and upper and lower sideband all together. All right, and that's the signal you're sending out is a carrier wave with the modulation. With the use of upper and lower at the same time. All right, all three of that at the same time. Now, upper and lower is just basically eliminating the carrier wave and separating the upper and lower sideband of that AM carrier. Now, FM is more like pretty much a dead key, you know, in a sense. On whenever you key up. And wattage you're pushing out that's what you're pushing out. You know, it's like and it's that all the time. It doesn't fluctuate like with your modulation or whatever. But it has a studio hi-fi type sound to it when you're talking on FM. It's just, to me, I used to, but to me it's just, it really works on your finals if you use FM a lot and you use a high wattage. So I tend to use upper and lower sideband because I can use very little wattage and use purely modulation, no carrier wave whatsoever. But anyway, I'm rambling. But what I was saying is, like, you hear all these people that are on the radio right now. Now, I told you, like, this is Skip and all, but this is why I think you really understand, the ones that really don't have any experience with radio. There's a lot of people on the radio. A lot of people talk on the radio. All right? And this is what I was trying to get across, is that infrastructure, each one of us took our own choices and liberties and got a radio that are able to go to certain frequencies or certain bandwidths of frequency. Right now, I have access to 3 bands. I got the 10 meter band, 11 meter band, and 12 meter band. Now, technically, according to the FCC bullshit, 10 and 12 meter bands are classified under ham bands. Now, 11 meter band, that's really the CB, the citizen band. Don't need a license, blah blah, whatever. This is what they've allocated and allow us, how they put it, how they perceive it, to use it. They don't own the airwaves. They just claim control over it. Anyway, 11 meter band is the CB band. That's in the middle. I tend to, like nowadays, I go for these high-end 10 meter radios, high-end ham radios. And what I'll do is just mod it to get to 11 meters and use it for 11 meters because it's got pretty good solid state circuitry in it. I kind of like it. The only thing is, it's just on that damn, surface mount micro chip shit. It's harder to work on because I don't see as good. My hand's not as it's not as steady as it used to be. But anyway, it's a good technology, and this is something I think we need to build on. I don't think we need to just put it aside and say it's like old and it doesn't work. It does work. I mean, it has its limitations. I get it and I understand that. But me personally, I take full advantage of those. Sometimes some people call a disadvantage when you are completely at mercy at the Mother Nature to get through put your signal in, how far it gets out and all that stuff, and then on top of that, the amount of money you want to spend on it. Now you can get all this stuff where you get this high amplifier and pushing out a lot of wattage and blah 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 blah. You can do that, and you'd be like getting up close up in there to the regular radio stations that you hear playing music all the time on the FM. You can do that, or you can just take advantage of those conditions when they do come in and whatever. But what I'm saying is, instead of the reliance on a cell network or some kind of a centralized controlled network, to eliminate that, because right now we're not centralized, controlled. I have the option of going to these frequencies and speaking and talking to whoever I want to on these frequencies. Okay? And that's just like, even if you're a ham operator, you just got to get through the fucking license according to the FCC, blah, blah, blah. And other stupid ham operators is like, hey, you ain't got a license, I'm going to tell on you. Whatever, you little fucking asshole. But anyway, the thing is each person that gets a radio and antenna and learns about it and actually starts using it for, like, just talking to your neighbor, talking to people down the street, the next town over. When Skip is running, man, you start talking states away, if not countries away. And then now, like I said, that there's that limitations. There might be years in between. Like for instance, me here in Florida talking to people in Europe. It could get up to about a few years in between. The times when it's good. You know what I mean? But we as individuals become the network in a sense. Instead of the network creating, a platform for us to communicate on, we become individual parts of the whole network. The network is all of us. I mean, honestly, these platforms wouldn't survive if it wasn't for us. Right? I'm talking like maybe even like people, content creators, any of these people. None of these platforms would survive if it wasn't for us. All right. Get rid of the middleman, the third wheel part of it. We creators, content creators, become the network, and we will provide whatever content or whatever from our own station, with directly to the viewer or whatever, without the middleman and without the third wheel part, where that third wheel part has got control over if you guys get hurt or they just shut you down and all that stuff whenever they get the whim. You know what I mean? The radio only at this moment only has audio. If there was a way where we can do this same exact thing, maybe on CB band or whatever frequency, where we can, what I'm thinking, it would be really cool if it could be adapted to, and we could figure out a way to adapt it to the CB band, for instance, where we're actually, when we key up and we're modulating or whatever out of our CB radio, at the same time we can be sending a video signal which could be received from another station that had the same basic setup up, a transceiver for the video signal being riding along the audio signal. There's got to be a way. And I mean, I just don't really care for all the people out there that are these naysayers. Oh, you can't be done and all this other stuff. You need this and that. It's not enough bandwidth and blah, blah, blah. No, I think there's a way. And, or something where it was kind of like a plug and play with existing technology at this moment. Mostly it's just like trying to get to get the signals to ride along with themselves, with each other. You know what I mean? Kind of pushing it out at the same time and having even if you got an Antron 99 sticking up there, a ground plane, you'd pick up both the video and the audio signal through that same antenna. See, that's another thing too I started thinking about. Now I'm starting to ramble now. Maybe you won't be able to do that. You may have like something like a J-pole off to the side of that ground plane for your CB that would pick up the video signal. That may or may not have to happen. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking out loud. For any of you electronic geeks out there. Now, I mean, really what I want is like people that are like, because you think about it, almost everything that was written back in the day that was considered science fiction, even movies that was considered science fiction, today is reality. So in a sense, science fiction can be, and a lot of times ends up being science fact, not science fiction. All right? Or either it's found to be or ends up being made into science fact. I mean, think about it. There's scientists been working on like cloaking technology. You think about it, it's like you remember that movie Predator, with the Predator had that little thing on his wrist and it made himself invisible and shit to blend in with the background and stuff. Hell, the military is like, hey, you got these 5, 6 star, whatever, damn generals saying, hey, I got a whole bunker full of damn scientists down there that will do and make anything I want. I want one of them. You know damn well if they have unlimited funds and a whole bunch of scientists shoved in a damn bunker somewhere underground that ain't going nowhere, they gonna build something. I'm gonna tell you something, seriously. If you are so naive and gullible to think that they don't do that kind of shit, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I can lead you to the door, I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink the water or open the door. You know what I mean? I can show you where it's at, and there it is. I'm just saying. CB radio, the original social network. It would be even better with video. The 1122 Wing Nut Radio, back out.